Yo, welcome back. Zycor here. And today in the Monster Hunter Archives, we have a special treat. Yes, we'll be showing a really old raid for Shen Gaoren that TriZon, me, and a few guild members took part in. It's Shen Gaoren was actually a pretty interesting battle, and this early on was kind of when TriZon and I were kind of first learning how to do it, something like that. So we're in here. We're with the Hip Checkers Guild as well. So I'll mention out a couple of the names of some of the people that were in our guild at the time, but I can't fully remember everyone. But at the beginning here, you'll get to see just a flash of the gathering screen, but that's about it. So yeah, loading into it here, you got to see just a little bit of the intro there, or not intro, the little gathering screen. And then right after this here, it used to show a like an intro screen here of Shen Gaoren itself, kind of like its its appearance. And I didn't have that in this video, so I just kind of took it from another video, and I figured I'd just show that, throw it in here so that you could see the full intro of what it actually looked like, because that, yeah, it came up every time you started this hunt. So basically, we all started out in this little hallway, I guess you would say, and it was like just a long pathway, and you could either go out to the left here, which is where Shen started, and usually for this method that we did, I just ran out here and grabbed a Dragonator trap because it was something you could use to for his feet to change them colors, because basically what you do is kind of like Shen in previous games. You change the colors of his feet by doing damage to get him to fall down. And basically, I think the Dragonator trap just kind of did a lot of damage to one foot to get it to fall over. Anyway, so yeah, in this method, basically, I mean, this was the first method Tri and I learned how to do. And this is the method that Hip Checkers used. So basically what it was is that we just come into the second area, and all of us get damaged and build up our ultimate meter, which is up there in the upper left. And you can see that it's building up. It used to build up as you got damaged. So we'd get damaged from all these monsters, and the hunting horn users would keep us alive. And yeah, it was kind of chaotic, because there would be some people that would damage and try to kill the monsters, and we had to actually tell them don't attack. As you can see there, I said that. So yeah, basically some people didn't know, but you know, of course, if it's their first time, they wouldn't. So yeah, we just got damaged, build up our ult meter, and then when Shen Gaoren gets to this second area, that's when we start our attack. So as you can see some of the people on the left that were in this hunt with us, like Kagula and Kabeza, Draxus, Grigory, Enideth, Iwimax, Lord Bacon, Fee Fee was in our guild, and I think Fee was the only one here that was in our guild. I think so. Kaz, Kazoi, and of course me and TriZon, and then Yvain. Everyone else here, except for Fee, is from Hip Checkers. So, except for Enideth. Enideth was in some Chinese guild. I'm not sure of the reason for that. Well, no, I kind of know the reason for that. Enideth could speak Chinese, so Enideth was, I think, a Chinese person, but I'm not fully sure. But one thing to say is, you know, hello if any of you are actually watching. Thought I might as well throw that out there. But anyway, yeah. So this was basically how Tri and I first learned how to do this, and it was pretty fun. So we just, yeah, had to wait till it was kind of a waiting game though, because it was just, you know, you just had to wait and wait and wait till Shen actually finally got to this area. It took a little bit. But the hunting horn users are healing us. Fee was a hunting horn user, so she was pretty helpful. She or he, I have no idea. Had a female character, so, you know. But lots of these have female characters, don't they? But a lot of these people we actually kind of knew. We partied with Cabeza a few times. And yeah, you could die here, although it was preferable to use your just your pots to heal up, along with the hunting horn users healing you, because you didn't necessarily want to die, but it's something you could do. It just wasn't preferable. So if you were gonna die, just use your pots. But yeah, as you can see, I'm already at the first level of alt. So we used to build up like 2 full alt charges here, so that we could just do a couple of alts right off the bat. And in this one, at this time at least, they had wanted a person to clear out all the mobs around the area, all the monsters, and I guess they liked me doing it because I was pretty good at it. So I guess that's what I'm doing in this one. I will be attacking Shen later once I get rid of all the monsters. But when Shen finally gets here, I'll be doing that. And I believe there was a method to, I can't even really remember anymore. You could transfer your alt to someone else in some way. I kind of forgot how it worked, because I never used it. Yeah, you can see they're kind of talking about it over there. But you couldn't use it in a raid. And the raids as well were different than the regular hunts in MHO, because the raids were actually 50 minutes rather than 30 that normal hunts were, which was, I guess, it was nice. Definitely nice to have it just like traditional Monster Hunter. But I kind of wish that you would have had 50 minutes in against other monsters as well. You know, it just feels better that way because it feels more like traditional Monster Hunter. But I guess, you know, they didn't do it that way. But yeah, it used to take Shen a little while to finally get here. But basically, we're just mostly relying on the hunting horn users here. And I had the, what I like to call the Tigrex tuning fork. Because the Tigrex sword basically looks like a tuning fork. The Tigrex greatsword. but I had it because it was purple sharpness, as you can tell up there. And this was long before they added G rank and changed up stuff with the sharpness and stuff. So yeah, I mean, this was back in June of 2016. So yeah, this is a long time ago. But these monsters really did do a number on you. So you had to. Those hunting horn users were really worked to the max. I did some others ones with myself using a hunting horn, and yeah, I have some experience with it. Okay, so yeah, Shen is here now finally, so I'm starting to attack the monsters, getting rid of them all, while the other people that were chosen, because each person had their specific role. A few people would be for cannons, a few people would be for barrel bombs, because there were barrel bombs spawned about at this time. So when Shen gets here, there's a bunch of barrel bombs spawned in certain locations, and those barrel bombs had to be carried, as you can see right there, over to Shen, and that's what you'd use on Shen's leg. That's how this hunt went. And if you were hit by any of the monsters, well, you'd lose that barrel bomb. And basically there was a limited amount of barrel bombs, because the spots that spawned, you could only gather from them a certain amount of times. So that's why I had to be here to defeat all the monsters and, clear the way for people coming to set bombs by Shen's legs. And the right-click spin that was new to... I don't know if I want to say new. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen it in any other game, have I? Yeah, it's the right-click draw spin. I mean, I know, other Monster Hunter games have the horizontal swing, but the right-click draw swing is what I heavily used in here, because that was kind of new to MHO. And it really came in handy when dealing with these monsters, because it would just give you one major, one large, wide, sweeping swing. And yeah, you can kind of see the water kind of holds you back, so it slows you down if you go through it, so you had to make sure to walk around it. And now there's a whole bunch of them over here that I have to get rid of, because otherwise the bombers wouldn't be able to get through. And sometimes people didn't get hit from them just because of the lag. And then when they start going underground, though, I'm actually not able to hit them anymore. They're kind of impervious to hitting, as far as I remember. But yeah, those horizontal swipes were really good. And there, and Shen fell. Probably from some of the bombers. And basically, what the reason to get Shen to fall in here was to damage his shell, so that you could get the horn on the back, because otherwise you wouldn't break it. If you didn't do it quite right, you wouldn't break that horn. So it was very important to do it right, or you won't get the items you want. And I believe the horns were required for a lot of stuff in here. The weapons and the armor, all of that. But I was on mob clearing duty, which I got some pretty nice wide sweeping swings on some of them. And of course, with you saw I had some black damage numbers there, right there. Yeah, those are my low affinity because of the Tigrex weapon having you know, its affinity issues. Tigrex weapon is good in a way. I mean, it has high attack power, but it always has negative affinity. So it was kind of a double-edged sword, quite literally. So I'm looking around for more monsters. The monsters kept spawning all through the time, mostly, that the barrel bombs were spawning. Up until a certain point, then they just kind of stopped spawning. And these Hermitors ended up having really fast walk speed just to get over to you. So I swear it was just because just because they're trying to grief you. And as far as I remember, I think this whole match you got like, what was it? I think you got 12 deaths in here. So it's a lot more than normal stuff, but you know, it is a raid too. But then you also had the cat tickets as well that you could use. And then of course, the Hermitors grief me by just digging away. And then I'm trying to sharpen, of course. Luckily I was able to sharpen. The Hermitors were actually formidable though with my weapon. As you can see, it took me a bunch of hits to take them out. But I did clear the field of the monsters really well. I made sure to be real thorough about it, because not just because you know, not like I wanted to just be known as the mob clearer. No, I was given the job, so I thought I want to do a good job. You know, I mean, that's the general thought. If you're given a job to do, you do it good. Do it right. So that's what I was doing here. And that's why I tried my best to clear it all. And I think I got everything. Pretty much. Looks like I pretty much cleared everything. There were some monsters that still lingered and hung around while we were battling Shen itself, but I think now I end up going for some of the bombs because I was also on bomb duty. So I'm going to look for some of the bombs to see if I can pick one up. And there used to be a bomb spawn spot over here, but if it's gone, yeah, it looks like it was gone. And then some other mobs that aren't cleared yet. So then there was also another spawn spot over to the right over here too. But I think I was looking for other mobs as well here. So let's see if I go back. Gotta get that stamina, of course. I was also trying to monitor the chat to see if anybody was getting hit by monsters or needed help as well. And I believe I think TriZon was on cannon duty in this one. So he's probably firing cannonballs around this time. I believe that's about the time that they were firing them. Because cannonballs used to... yeah, there I am trying to attack the shell. Yeah, the cannonballs used to be over on the barracks over there that Shen is breaking through as he goes. And yeah, if you were underneath Shen when he fell like that, you died. you just outright died. But his shell is so shielded that I think I bounced off even with a level 1 charge. So yeah, he had a lot of resistance on his shell. But what made him fall down were like you know, usual staggers, mainly changing his feet red. That's mainly took enough damage to do that. And I can't remember what this felon was for. I think he was notifying us that there were more barrel bombs available. And I apparently I didn't know where I was going exactly. So I was just following everybody. Let's see if the barrel bombs spawned back here. Looks like they did. And you also might hear a little bit of chat in here from during the match, because I was actually in a Discord chat room, vocal chat room with everyone, because that's how they yeah that's how they organized it at the time. So yeah, it was fully organized by a Discord chat, and I didn't have a microphone at the time, so I didn't say anything. I wasn't really using it. I was just in there because that's how they organized it. Now I gotta damage that shell, because that's what you really wanted to do. And I think a lot of time also something good to do was to use the barrel bombs on his shell. Which actually, you know, maybe the barrel bombs were actually fully used on the shell at this time, when I think about it now. Because they did a lot of damage to the shell, and we were really trying to break it, because I think that was the most important break. So, yeah, but they were used on the legs sometimes. But because of the heavy resistance on his shell, you can see it's taken my sharpness down quite a bit. And I had to use full charges just to hit its shell and its legs when its legs weren't red, because all I did was bounce off. And I had a full out bar. I'm not sure why I didn't actually use it, but I guess I didn't. I should have. But I'll probably use it sometime here. I'll probably end up using it on the shell. That's what we used to do. Yeah, I had to use a full charge just to hit the legs. Otherwise it bounced off. And I was actively trying to predict where the leg was going to land, because I kind of knew where it was going to land right in the middle. It's just when it stomped down, I got my charge got interrupted because of the tremor. I think, I'm not sure if if it made any tremor when it was red, but it might have. I think we have tremor resistance on here. Yeah, that was another requirement for the hunting horn users, to have tremor resistance, so that the tremor didn't affect you when you were battling at the legs. Yeah, that's why I'm not affected by the tremor right now. Because, yeah, that's really helpful to have that. And we're getting close to the third area here. Oh, I think by now all the cannons have been used and stuff, and all the bombs were used as well. And it looks like Drax has fainted. Yeah. Yeah, it just bounced off without charging. Need that ESP from the charge attacks. And yep, he broke the what are they? They were wood things from the the entrance to the next area. Whatever. And so now we're on area 3. And I think I was going up to use ballistas. Yeah, you gather ballistas over here at these ballista gather spots. And it changes the music. I guess I never used my ult. That's weird. I must have not seen an opening or forgot. Yeah, they told me to gather everything, and I was already doing that. Just had to gather all the ballista ammo. And then what you did with the ballista is you just shot at his feet whenever they weren't red. So if you keep them red, you'll take them down. Because this was actually pretty tedious to take him down here, because you could easily fail it. And it death fainted too. Huh. Lots of people fainted. I don't remember if I fainted. Hopefully I didn't. But if I'm up here working on the ballistas, I probably didn't, because there isn't really much for dangers up here. I believe there were cannons over here on the right side as well of the fortress. Yeah, as you can tell, it changed the leg to red. So then it makes him drop, and then the best thing to do is to shoot the shell to try and break it. But you mainly, as a ballista user, you wanted to keep the legs red. And for some reason there, it wasn't hitting. I think it was hitting the wall or something. So you keep the legs red, then the damage that everyone does just keeps staggering it, and made them do a lot more damage. And I believe they were using cannons on the shell here as well, because that horn still isn't broken back there. I don't actually remember if we broke it or not. I probably could have used more ballista ammo. But we're staggering him quite a bit, so that's good. And if you didn't keep your health up there, though, when he fell, you were toast. Yeah, I just saw a cannon hit the shell. And apparently Drax has had to leave. Okay, I was shooting... yeah, Yvain told me I could shoot the shell, so I decided to do that. And just not the red legs. That shell is really hard to break, though. It, like... it would really refuse to break. You had to do a lot of damage to it. And at this time, weapons were a lot weaker, I think, so it was a lot harder to beat him and break the shell. But the ballista worked pretty well. I mean, it was supposed to mostly be the cannoners to break the shell, but still haven't broke that shell yet. There we go, we just broke it. So that works. Yeah, that was pretty good. So now it's mostly just attempting to defeat it. I think I did pretty good here. I was trying my hardest to keep those legs red and shoot the shell. And then of course that one missed. Sometimes if I was too far, if I was turned too far down, it wouldn't actually hit. So you couldn't turn too far down. It's like it would hit the pylon or something. Not pylon, the wall. I don't know why. And yeah, that I think that those shockwaves you saw, I believe, was the alt from the hunting horn users. I wonder if I'll actually use my alt up here on the wall. Because I think it does get up on the wall. Yeah, there. I think I ran out of hunting horn, out of ammo for the ballista, and I've locked that. So now, yeah, it's just whacking it, and the blue bar down at the bottom there is the health of the fortress that we're supposed to be protecting. So it's still full health, so it's pretty good. And that, yeah, you can see that fall really, really hurts. It took over half my health. You just gotta pretty much pot to max. And I figured, hey, might as well sharpen too. Why not? I was trying to predict where the legs would be, but you know, sometimes it's not the easiest. And yes, and I was able to block that too, so that was... Oh, there's my ult. I used my... Yeah. Yeah, I finally used one. That was the, I think, the level 2 ult. No, I missed there. So at least you got to see one ult. I don't know if I used my second or not. Oh, there we go. I used the same one again. It was a really cool ult. Nice animation, because you basically stick your sword into the ground and charge, and then let it loose and swing. So I like the ult. There we go. We defeated it. Yes. It didn't even get to damage the wall. So yeah, that is Shen Gaoren. I can't remember how many cards you got. You probably got, what was it? 6, maybe? I don't know. 5 cards, they're saying. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that's right. So yeah. That is Shen Gaoren, the actual raid. Everybody got crowded over here just to get the cards. So, yeah, hope you like this this raid video from 2016. If you like this video, hit that like button. We really appreciate it, and it really helps us out a lot. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that bell icon, leave a comment, and of course share it. And yeah. Thanks for watching. and I'll see you next time. I didn't do too bad. Did pretty good.